Okay, again, good morning and welcome to our panel discussion, which I may say are now traditional panel discussions. For several years, we have in art and music department panel discussions dedicated to art. Our today's panels is about, I would say, a very hot topic. The title of the panel is The Rights of Copyright, and we know that in our modern age, copyright in the world of visual arts, but also in the world of music, and I would say of literature too, are very hot issues. Of course, we shall limit ourselves only to the visual arts and music today. Our panelists, or my panelists today, are distinguished professors in St. George's Community College from different departments. We have professor from business management, attorney, Ms. Angela Rabatin, who will take care of this legislative part of our subject matter. Three professors are coming from the art department: Jessica Barman, Michelle Bazemore, and Marcia Pearl are our art department and professors and artists, and Gary Kirkby is professor in the music department. He will join us in discussion about the appropriation or copyrights in appropriation of music. The topic, as I said, is a very hot topic, and I will, of course, allow you to ask the questions. We shall not wait until the end of the discussion. After my questions and, for example, commentary of the panelists, you will have possibility to ask your questions. And just for the beginning, I want to show you what I have received the other day. And although this piece has a copyright and it is written there, but this is a very good example, again, of art appropriation. We know that since oldest time, since the time of the Greeks and the Romans, appropriation in visual arts existed. If it didn't, we would not have, for example, marble copies of the Greek originals by the Romans. And of course, later during the history, the very famous Rembrandt was very much inspired by Titian, Raphael, and other Renaissance artists, and he appropriated to some aspects of their art. Of course, we are going to talk about our modern times, and appropriation and derivation of the art and the copyrights in our electronic age are a very, as I said, hot issue. To make this panel a little bit more to visualize our discussion, I shall ask first my colleagues from the art department to show us examples of appropriation in art. Whoever wants first. Michelle, Professor Michelle Bazemore. Okay. You will have opportunity to see on the screen.
Okay, I'm not going to make a lot of comments about them. I just want you to let the images soak in a little bit and make a mental reference of them, okay?
Are you talking to Mark, please, because they
As I said, I'm not going to be talking extensively about these examples. I just want you to kind of take a mental snapshot of them, and we'll probably cover it later. Okay. All right, this is a scenario. The next one is an image, but this one is a scenario question. I'm frequently asked to modify scientific and medical illustrations. I start with a drawing someone else has done, and then I change it. Is it okay if I completely redraw the figure and change it? Answer: if the work you're using is subject to copyright protection, then you are engaged in copyright infringement. Okay? That just is more to that conversation. This one is probably a really good example of a famous case. I'm not sure if everybody can see it. The one on the left is an original photograph. And the photographer's name is Nick Vedros. The one on the right is an illustration that won a Corel. You've heard of the software vendor Corel, right? They had a competition for book covers, or actually two-page spreads, and this guy, Stephen R. Scott, is a designer. His lawyers said, when they sued, what he did was create a very nice design that includes a cowboy, a Native American, and a U.S. flag. That's what his attorney said. He did take a photograph and reproduce it. He made a drawing in Corel Draw, but he did not do anything electronically to infringe TSI's copyright. That's the stock agency that the photographer was represented by. So basically, he's maintaining that I just was inspired by the guy's photo, but I did my own illustration. One more. Okay. Don't expect you to read all of this. This is about a very famous case, Jeff Koons. And he basically took somebody's photograph and then made a sculpture out of it, very famous artist. Well, he lost because they came up with the concept of substantial similarity. His sculpture has substantial similarity to the original photographer's piece, okay? So that's a case I just want you to kind of have in your mind. Someone else may touch on it. Substantial similarity. Does your piece have it? Obviously, I really don't want you to read this, but this is my warning that a lot of what's out on the web is not free to use. Even when they say royalty-free, etc., you got to go read the fine print. Now, the next one, I have a big arrow right there because this is the one that hangs us up in school. It's talking about the right of using these images for comping, which just means rough versions of your illustration, but at the bottom it says not to be used for the final project, okay? My way of just making a pitch to make sure you understand the rights, even when you think all is well. Now, this is what I'm going to conclude with. I want to ask the question, not can we, how far can we go and still be legal? My question is, should we, okay? Should we? And I encourage students here to do 100% original work, and if they need to, use totally public domain images. And here's why. This is what I'm going to conclude with. This is what, anybody recognize this? It's from the Chinese, the Olympics that were held in China. That's innovation, that's creativity, that's originality. My concern is that by being people that are always dependent on working off of somebody else's imagery, we're losing our creative edge. So that's my case.
Question?
The first case that you mentioned, who won the case, Nick Bedros or the other fellow?
Oh, the Koons?
No,
The
the
first
first
one.
one. The one with the Indian.
Oh, the photographer.
Yeah.
The photographer, yeah.
Thank you, Michelle. You have to quit. And who will, Marcia will give us some additional examples.
You gotta
and then
close,
we shall
Mike.
enter into discussion.
I have some examples too, Svetlana. I have examples, that's all.
Yes, I know.
I'm glad Michelle brought up those issues, because I'd like to piggyback off of what she said. What she mentioned about this issue of copyright, excuse me, that's great. Copyright infringement. I would like to raise an example that's currently in the news concerning the Shepard Fairey Obama poster. How many people saw that poster this
Do you
past?
have Jessica?
I do.
Jessica
Marcia.
has a poster, Marcia.
I have the images. I actually prepared something I'd like to.
You have that same poster?
Yeah, the last
and I
slide.
just-
Show them.
Why don't I pull it up
Jessica,
while
Jessica
she's
will
getting
hold
ready?
it since she has a set.
Okay. I don't know what happened to my PowerPoint. I just put it there. At any rate, if you bring up that image, that'd be great. Sure. Right. There's a huge controversy that's brewing over this image of the Obama Hope poster. The original poster actually had the caption entitled Progress. And he did a series, Progress, Hope, and Change. The artist's name is Shepard Fairey, again. And there's the issue concerning Associated Press, who published the image originally, accused Fairey of copyright infringement. So Fairey got his lawyers on the case, and they went into